Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in my last video I told you that I was going to show you all you need to know about a sewing machine. Today we are going to be learning parts of the sewing machine, their functions, how to thread a sewing machine, how to pedal a sewing machine, how to oil your sewing machine for maintenance, and how to use your sewing machine to sew a clothes for the first time. Yay! So let's not waste so much time. Let's get right into the video because this video is definitely going to be a very long video. So please be patient, watch it to the end, and stay tuned. Bye. So guys, this is the wheel, hand wheel. This is called a hand wheel of the machine. So this hand wheel controls most parts of the machine, and when you're sewing, you move it towards you. Do not move it backwards, move it towards you. And as you can see, as you're moving it towards you, you can see that the needle is moving, and also the pedal itself, the machine pedal is moving as well. This right here is the bobbin winder. This is where you thread your bobbin. This is what the bobbin looks like, but this my own is no longer working. So this is where you put your bobbin here and then you thread it. If it was working, I would have shown you guys how to do it, but mine is no longer working now. This is called the stitch regulator. This is the stitch regulator. This thing controls your stitch. If you're taking it up, it means you're reversing your stitch, but when you bring it down, it gives you, your stitch moves forward. And also when it is down, it also gives you a loose stitch. So this right here, this stitch regulator, it controls if you have, whether if you want to have a tight or loose stitch. This is where you control it. So this is here, right here, when you bring it to the down part, this is called the gather stitch. When you want to run a gather stitch, you bring it to the last. So if you want your stitch to be a little bit tight, you raise it up a little, just play around with it. Now this right here is the spool pin. There used to be a spool pin on top here, on top of this place, but mine has spoiled, so that is why I do not have it again. Right now this is the one I'm using, and this is where you put your thread. Now the next thing is your thread guide. This is your thread guide. This is where your thread passes through and goes to this place. Now this one here is the take up lever. When you take it up, it brings your foot up, your presser foot up. When you take it down, it goes down. Let me show you. So that take up lever regulates your presser foot. It takes it up and down. Then this is the tension wheel. This is where it controls the tension of the machine, and also your thread also goes through in and gets to this place. This is the tension dial. Sorry, this is a tension dial. So it controls the tension of your machine. This right here is also a thread guide. You put your thread in here, it takes your thread up and down. So now let's get down. Right here, this is your needle bar. It controls the compartment of the needle. Now this one here is the needle clamp. This is the needle clamp. It holds your needle, and this is where this needle clamp holds your needle, makes it tight or loose. And also this is where if you lose it, this is where you have to be putting your needle from and taking it out. So when you lose it, your needle falls off. So it controls the needle. Now this is your presser foot. Remember I told you that when you bring down this take up lever, it goes up and down. Now this is your presser foot, so this is what holds your fabric. When you bring it down. Now this thing right here, this thing is the feet dog, so it controls your fabric. It makes your fabric move forwards or backwards depending on how you set your stitch. Then this one right here, this is the bobbin case. This is where you put your bobbin. And now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is the bobbin case right here. And this is the bobbin. Now, in Nigerian markets, this is not called bobbin. If you go to the Nigerian market and tell them you want to buy bobbin, nobody will look at you. So when you get to the Nigerian market, this thing is called a railer. Tell them you want to buy railer. This is what they will give you. Now, this one is called shuttle in the Nigerian market. This is a manual machine shuttle. They have industrial shuttle and manual shuttle. This is the manual one because you're making use of the manual machines. Same goes with this one. This one is also a manual shuttle. So this is when you put this into, this is where you put it in from, like this. I'm going to be showing you this later in the video. So now we're going to be threading the machine, but the first thing we're going to be doing is I am going to show you how to insert a thread on this railer, on this bobbin. I'm going to show you how to insert a thread on it, because you know I told you that my bobbin I told you that my bobbin winder is no longer working. So I am going to show you guys how to thread this without a bobbin winder. Let's get right in. So to achieve this, you're going to be needing a nail, or you can also use a needle, but a nail would be better. So you can use those long dagger needles, or even use a stick, anything that you know that can pass through here and hold it firm. That is what you're going to be needing. So now I'm going to be using a nail, and then first of all they're going to be wrapping my thread. This is my thread. So I don't know if you can see this. So this is my thread, and I'm going to be wrapping my thread first on it. After wrapping my thread, then you make sure that that place that the thread is coming out from is facing you. Now when it faces you, you put your needle, your nail, sorry, you put your nail into it, and then when you don't worry, I will show you how to pedal a machine. And then when you start pedaling your machine, you place it on it. So just place it on it. Don't make your hands too firm on the handrail. Just keep it there and pedal. As you can see, when you pedal, you make sure you're holding your thread so that it's going to be steady, because if you're not holding your thread, it's going to run loose. So that is how to run a thread on your bobbin without a bobbin winder. How to fit your bobbin into your bobbin kit. So this is your bobbin or railer. You insert it, but after you're finished threading it, you insert it inside. Then now you see this hole here. That is where you're going to be passing through your thread. You bring your thread and put it in that hole. Hold your railer, hold your bobbin, drag the thread. You see that it's going to pass through this thing here. This thing is adjusted. Once you drag your thread, it's going to enter and come out of here. That is how to do it. Then you insert it into your bobbin case. When you want to insert it, you see this thing here, this indentation here, this mark here, this curve here, that is where this thing is going to be. So now let's insert it. When you put it in, you put this thing here, this opening is going to, you insert it into this thing that looks like nail, into this thing here. Then when you put it, you make sure that that long thing on your bobbin matches with that in that hole there. So when you push it in, you will hear a clicking sound. When you push it in, once you hear that clicking sound, you know that okay, your bobbin has entered successfully. Now let's thread the machine. So when you put your machine, when you place your machine on your spool pin, you take your thread across and then bring it out from under. Did you see what I did? You take your, when you place your thread, you drop it, take it across, then from under you bring it, then let me, so when you drop your thread, you bring it from under, take it across and put it on this thread holder. When you put it on the thread holder, you're going to take it round your tension, take it across your tension down. When you take it across your tension down, you bring it out from here, and then there is something that used to be here before. I'm sure your machine has it because my machine is a very old machine. That is why almost of these things are broken. So when you get to this place, you swipe it in. It's going to enter. Swipe your thread in, and then you bring it to this part and also swipe it in. Swipe it in, and then it is now time to thread your machine. See, thread your needle and bring it out from there. After doing that, by then you must have inserted your bobbin. Remember how I told you how to insert your bobbin? Insert your bobbin and then you hold your thread, wheel your machine, wheel your hand wheel and drag it. You see that this one is out now. That is it. Then your machine is ready to sew. This is how to feather the machine. You get, of course, you're going to be sitting down. You place your two legs on your pedal, and then you put your fabric under your presser foot. Then you go to the take. This is what we call. You remember when we did parts of the machine? This is, you go to your take up lever, bring it down. Once you bring your take up lever down, you see that your presser foot is now holding the fabric. The fabric cannot come out. Then this is when you start sewing. The next step is to place your hand on your hand wheel and wheel it towards you. Once you wheel it towards you, you will see that your pedal will start moving. Your pedal and your needle will start moving. So just wheel it and then start matching. Start matching and hold your fabric. Just start matching. You see, it's working now. That is how you do. Then when you get to the end of your stitch, there is something we call locking your stitch. When you get to the end of your stitch, if you have to lock your stitch, because if you do not lock it, it's going to start losing. When maybe after making your dress and after joining your dress, if you do not lock your stitch, it will start losing from you there, and your dress will fall apart. So now, when you want to lock it, when you get to the end of your stitch, what you do is to raise this thing up. You you raise your stitch regulator up, you see that your fabric has started going back, the stitch has started going backwards. Then when you raise it up, you bring it down. Let me show you. So when you as you're sewing, you raise it up and bring it back again, and that is it. You have made it. You can do once, like you can do it like 3 4 times. You can do it like this. You see your stitch is now very tight. That is how to lock your stitch. So this is how to pedal a machine. Now let us move to sewing our straight stitches. Place your fabric exactly in the places. You see how I place the line I want to sew exactly on that needle. Maybe you can, if you don't want to just bring down your take up lever, you can first of all use your needle, place your needle on that line that you want to sew. Then when your needle must have put it in place, you then bring down your take up lever. That is another way. And then remember how I taught you to sew, how to pedal the machine. You bring your wheel, your hand wheel towards you, and then you start matching. So as you can see, now whenever you're sewing and you want to keep your fabric in place, make sure that your two hands are on your fabric. One is at the back dragging, one is at the back and one is in front. Use it to place it there. Make sure your hand is firm on the fabric as you sew, so that it's not going to roll. Can you see what I'm doing? Can you see? Can you see what I am doing? So I have made my first straight stitch. Let's go to the second one. Then the second one. So now we are going to be sewing the block stitch, the block lines, the square lines I mean. So now first thing, you place this time, you place your needle on that line you want to start sewing from, and then you start to sew. You can also place your hand like this. Just make sure that your hand is firm on your fabric. Now when you get to that corner, when you get to this corner, whenever you're sewing something that's in a square form or rectangular form, however it is, when you get to this corner, what you do is you place your needle on that particular corner, raise your take up lever up and turn it, then bring down your take up lever and continue sewing. It will make that particular corner come out very sharp. So now as you can see, as I'm sewing, it has passed. So what I will do is I will take it back to that place, turn it and continue. I will do the same. When I'm about getting to that place, I will stop and continue. So that is how to make. So when I get to the end of the stitch, I can decide to lock the stitch or not. So that is how to sew a square corner. So guys, let us oil our machine. Let me show you how to oil your machine. First, this is your machine oil. Now when you're oiling, when you buy this thing, this part is going to be closed. So what you do is use your scissors and cut a very sharp scissors and cut it open. Now when you cut it open, you see that it has an opening. So now all you do is to oil it. You just put 1 or 2 drops. You see this hole, there are so many holes on the machine, so you just, wherever you see a hole, you drop your oil. You drop here, then oil your, sometimes this thing can be really difficult. You oil your stitch regulator, then oil your feet door so that the oil is going to get to the bobbin case. Now, after you must have oiled your machine, please, I want you to pedal it for at least, you also oil here, 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 and also here. Now, after oiling your machine, please do not just leave it like that. Make sure you're matching it. You pedal it so that the oil is going to go down the machine. Make sure you're pedaling it so that the oil is going to go round. Pedal it for like a minute. After pedaling it, then you leave it. And I would advise you to oil your machine. I will advise you to oil your machine a night before you start using it, because when you oil it immediately and start using it, you will find out that it's going to stain your dress, especially if you're sewing a white dress. If you know you're going to sew a white dress, please oil your machine 2 days before, so that by the time you are sewing the dress, everything has dried. That is it for the end of this video. See you in my next video. Bye.